Hello and good day, Mike Adcock with an update on moderate tropical storm Helen located over the Mozambique Channel. This briefing is based on the 06 Zulu Meteo France advisory package from the 29th of March. Take a look at satellite imagery. We do see convection wrapping around the center of circulation, spreading showers and thunderstorms over Comoros. Outflow aloft is very favorable, and you've seen those cirrus clouds moving across Madagascar. Between that, the favorable water temperatures as well as limited shear, Helen will continue to develop over the next day or so as it continues to track off toward the east-southeast. As of 6 Zulu, or 8 a.m. in Mozambique, 9 a.m. in Madagascar, the center of circulation was analyzed about 130 kilometers south-southwest of Moroni, or about 250 kilometers east of Pimba. It is moving off toward the east-southeast at 7 kilometers per hour. Winds are at 75 kilometers with a pressure of 996 hectopascal. Looking at the Dvorak analysis, you see that convection starting to wrap around the center of circulation. Pretty much all the agencies are showing a 3.0 for their analysis at 6 Zulu. JTWC, they were probably the more conservative. They found convection wrapping around 6/10 around the center of circulation, 7/10 through Nesdis, and 8/10 through Meteo France. Regardless, that still works out to a data T of 3.0. As a result, 3.0 should be about 85 kilometers per hour using a 1-minute scale. So 75 kilometers per hour, according to the official advisory, pretty much on point. The advanced Dvorak technique shows a little more strengthening there. So we're going to continue to monitor this. That convection is starting to wrap around and starting to see this become more impressive, at least on satellite. Just pulling out, looking at the broader picture on Meteostat 7, you do see here's Helen just off to the northwest of Mozambique. Intertropical convergence zone generally across the central Indian Ocean and Central Africa. Quite a bit of convection here in the central portion of the Indian Ocean, and then higher pressure off toward the south. Not really related to Helen, but do want to kind of touch note, if you've been following the information regarding Malaysian Airlines Flight 370, there's been some talk about weather and all that stuff. And one of the challenges right now, you saw this area of low pressure move now off toward the east-southeast. Behind it, a lot of stratocumulus, and that is becoming a challenge trying to look for evidence of the aircraft. Because it is relatively low to the ocean surface, it reduces the height that the aircraft can fly in and really investigate what's going on out there. Anyway, going back toward Helen, let's take a look at the surface analysis right now. Here is Helen, again, the intertropical convergence zone extending off toward the east. Here's that area of convection that we saw earlier. Really the big story is going to be this area of high pressure, though, to its south. That's going to play a role in the future track of Helen. According to Meteo France's track, really right now looking at continued southeastward movement, and a lot of this is being steered toward a mid-level ridge. This should continue through Sunday. At that point, start to see that ridge build back in. At that point, that's going to start to shift the storm off toward the southwest. Additionally, you're looking at wind shear increasing with the subtropical westerly jet. So that's going to weaken the system and really weaken this before it makes landfall in Mozambique. Now here's the challenge, and Meteo France brings this up. They cannot rule out that Helen will make landfall in Madagascar. It's truly possible. What that does is pose further implications to the forecast. If it does make landfall in Madagascar, that will weaken it a lot sooner and basically pose less of a threat for Mozambique. Taking a look at the JTWC forecast track, very similar scenario, again off toward the southeast. As it approaches Madagascar, it takes a very sharp turn off toward the west, and then approaches Madagascar before falling apart. Conversely, here's the GFS guidance. Now, after about day 2, it makes landfall directly on western Madagascar. And after that, it actually weakens the system to the point where it loses its circulation and falls apart. Well, this scenario provides a significant amount of rainfall for Madagascar, but actually spares Mozambique. So it's something that we will definitely keep an eye on. GFS does strengthen this system quite a bit. The other two agencies, or JTWC and Meteo France, basically looking at a severe tropical storm with this system. The GFS is a little more bullish, taking it up to basically hurricane force winds, but not anticipating that really at this time, just due to the lack of real estate that Helen will have to play with. Again, I mentioned the threat of rainfall. This is the GFS forecast again, so this takes the center of circulation over Madagascar. So this is kind of a worst case scenario, but the areas you see highlighted in red, looking at rainfall rates of greater than 200 millimeters over the next 5 days as this loop carries on into next week. Again, Comoros as well as western Madagascar really will have to continue to monitor the progress of the storm. Flooding is going to be a concern, and landslides, especially for Madagascar, if this track holds up. Something we will continue to monitor over the next few days. And then turning our attention to surface plots out there, not much to speak of. Heavy rain again across Comoros and Mayete. Really just high clouds moving into Madagascar. Fair conditions over in Mozambique. We'll zoom in, take a look at Moroni. Right now, winds are out of the northwest, 15 kilometers there. Heavy rain showers are restricting our visibility down to 4 kilometers. Our pressure at 1,009 hectopascal. And then over at in Mayete, 17 kilometer per hour winds there. 1.5 kilometer for your visibility under some light rain showers. Pressure a little higher there at 1,010. Of course, we're going to continue to monitor the progress of the system. You can join in on the conversation at storm2k.org. You can also follow me at the various social media networks there listed below. Thank you all for tuning in. Have a great day. Be safe out there and take care.